We'll get started in just a minute. Waiting for one more person. You guys need a white?
I know. Actually, I use more of those now because I wasn't during COVID. This is all like at the grocery store grabbing a lot.
You guys good? Okay. Joseph, you ready?
Yeah, I'll give you a 10 second.
Okay. Hi, Pierre. Hadn't seen you in a while in person.
Sheriff, it looks just like you.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
How about it,
That's
fellas?
supposed to be.
How y'all doing?
AI did it, and my investigative people. So, you guys are ready? Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staly. With me today is our State Attorney, R.J. Larissa, our Chief of Investigation, Audie Rodriguez, our Chief Deputy, Joe Barilli, Commander Brian Finn, and an amazing SIU team that we're going to talk about their results of their operation. Today we announce the results of Operation Summer Slammer, a 6-month undercover operation targeting drug dealers in Flagler County. From January 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2025, our Special Investigations Unit conducted a series of undercover operations with controlled buys totaling 5 kilograms of illegal narcotics. This includes 1 kilogram of cocaine, 120 grams of methamphetamine, 60 grams of fentanyl. That doesn't sound like much, but that is enough potentially to kill 30,000 people, and various other assorted illegal narcotics. Operation Summer Slammer also resulted in the seizures of 13 firearms, 5 vehicles, and $22,000 in drug seized profits. One thing that in my entire career I've seen in common: if there's drugs, there's guns, and that's always the danger that we have when we buy drugs undercover. We serve search warrants as a result of those buys, because you never know what you're going to be met with. During the operation, we obtained 24 arrest warrants, and this morning I joined our Special Investigations Unit, our SWAT team, our PACE unit, our K-9 unit, our fugitive unit, and others as we began taking these poison peddlers into custody and delivering them to the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility, or as I like to refer to it, the Green Roof Inn. Operation Summer Slammer suspects included multiple cocaine traffickers, a fentanyl trafficker, and methamphetamine, marijuana, Suboxone, MDMA, and oxycodone. Combined, these 24 drug dealers have 316 prior arrests. Let me just highlight some of them. One offender, Thomas Lito Jr., was the equivalent of an illegal drug pharmaceutical store. Whatever illegal drug you wanted, you could get from him. Fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, Suboxone, MDMA, hydrocodone, hydromorphine. He also possessed a firearm by a convicted felon. He's been to prison before, and he alone's been arrested 31 times. Another offender, Shannon Foster, age 47, residing in the Mondex area of Flagler County in the western part of the county, and previously arrested 20 times. He's been to state prison before, was wanted for the sale of methamphetamine, tried hiding in a small camper trailer and refused to come out. Well, he quickly changed his mind when we gassed him in the trailer. In about 2 or 3 minutes, he and another individual came out. He was arrested on the warrant and resisting arrest without violence. Everett Bullard, wanted for sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a park, had 43 prior arrests and has been to state prison. Terrence Dudley, wanted for trafficking in fentanyl, had 28 prior arrests and has been to state prison. Wanda Hadley, wanted for the sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a protected location, has been arrested 25 times and has served time in state prison. Russell Lassiter, now he's the winner. He was wanted for sale of cocaine. He's been arrested 51 times previously and also been to state prison. Terrence Leaks is another one that's been to prison, been arrested 9 times and served time in state prison. And then Gaines Smith Jr., wanted for 2 counts of sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a park. He's been to state prison and has had 9 prior arrests. Now I mention this because obviously going to state prison, getting arrested all these times, they still don't want to change their behavior. So we're going to continue to arrest them. I know our state attorney will talk in a few minutes. He's going to continue to prosecute them. But if they won't change their behavior, then they need to be sentenced heavily by the judge, by the courts, to prison time, because they're selling poison in our community. Another offender that we had planned to arrest for selling fentanyl, her name was Brandy Lynn Gutchenauer, sadly died of an overdose a few months ago at a young age of 51. These drug dealers are selling poison that can be deadly. It's too late for Brandy, but it's not too late if you use drugs to seek help in treatment before you become the next fatal victim of a drug dealer. We've made great strides in Flagler County reducing overdose deaths in Flagler County. Our peak was in 2020 during COVID when we had 48 overdose deaths. Last year we had 11. That's still 11 too many. We will continue to investigate every overdose death as a murder. And thanks to our detectives and the strong prosecution by our state attorney, R.J. Larissa, we have a number of these poison peddlers sitting in state prison for selling that fatal dose. Of the 24, 1 deceased, 18 have been arrested, or the one that died, and 6 are still outstanding. I have a message to the 6 that are still outstanding. If you're a fugitive, I suggest you turn yourself in, because we're going to get you. It's only a matter of time. We're going to find you. You can continue to walk around looking over your shoulder for when our SWAT team or our PACE unit or our fugitive unit finds you or SIU people find you, but you're going to get caught. Now, if you're out there and you know who one of these 6 people are, and they're on the board behind me, call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-277-TIPS, where you could be eligible for a reward. So help us find them and make some money yourself. Turn in a drug pusher. Turn in a pill pusher. And let's together make our community safer, and maybe you can make a few dollars and help us put them in jail. With that, I'll turn it over to our state attorney, R.J. Larissa.
Thank you, Sheriff. Sheriff, I really like, that's a good picture of you up there on the wall up there.
Well, I wish I had those muscles.
Doesn't quite do you justice, but it's close. Good afternoon, folks. We work well with the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. We're always, our goal, our mission is to improve the quality of life and to make our communities better and safer. A lot of these folks, 10 of them were charged with sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a park. that enhances the penalty to first-degree felony or 30 years in prison, and also has a minimum mandatory, I believe, of 4 years. The sale of oxy within 1,000 feet of a convenience store doesn't have the minimum mandatory, but 2 of those folks are looking at a potential sentence of up to 30 years in prison. And then we have a sale of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a convenience store, again, a first-degree felony. So we utilize the enhancements, or when they're selling in the vicinity of parks, schools, daycares, other facilities, convenience stores, because of the proximity of kids and the general public. I mean, let's face it, the problem is not just about drug overdoses and drug addictions and what that does to people and their families, but the sale and distribution of drugs creates more crime. And as the sheriff said, he got, I believe, 22 firearms. Guns and drugs go hand in hand. And how many of these young gun shootings have we had in Flagler and other communities that are related to drugs and the drug trade? So we're going to continue to vigorously prosecute these folks along with the sheriff's office. I want to commend these folks that go out there every day and make those buys and do those operations, because I tell you, that is one of the most dangerous activities that law enforcement gets involved in, when they're making these buys and then when they go out and arrest these folks. So God bless all of y'all, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to work with such a quality organization as the Flagler County Sheriff's Office and a quality sheriff like Rick Staly. Thank you.
Thank you, RJ. You know, we will continue these undercover operations. You can see the smorgasbord of illegal narcotics that we have in our community. And while the deaths from them are down, thankfully, for a variety of reasons, enforcement operations like this, the use of Narcan, education, treatment, it's still prevalent. And so we will continue to run these operations. And I hope those people with those strong potential sentences are gone for a long time, especially the people that have been arrested, 20, 30, 50 times in there. So with that, I'll turn it over to any questions that you may have.
Sheriff, are you seeing a new type of drug or a new combination of drugs that we haven't noticed before that is entering the street?
Well, what we're finding is like fentanyl and cocaine is being cut with different agents. So I'll let Chief Rodriguez answer that specifically, but we are seeing, we have a very expensive machine that we use to analyze the drugs that we're buying, and we're finding things are being cut very differently. It's constantly changing. So Augie, would you like to add anything?
There's always a constant flow of new drugs and new types and mixtures that they're coming up with. Recently we've been seeing a lot of fentanyl mixed with methamphetamine, fentanyl mixed with cocaine, and other things. So, but it's a constant change and a constant battle for law enforcement to keep up with.
But those new changes, what are they doing to the lethality of the drugs?
Well, it just depends on the chemical mixture. Fentanyl is so potent that depending on the quantity that's mixed in with the specific amount that you're getting off the streets, it could be extremely lethal, it could be very non-lethal depending on the potency. But we're not dealing with legitimate chemists here, so it's difficult to tell.
And that's a great example of the problem when you buy something from the street. You really don't know what you're getting. And at some point, you might take that fatal dose thinking that it's something that you've taken a bunch of different times and never had a problem. And the cartels and the manufacturers of this stuff, if you will, they're constantly changing their formula for a variety of reasons. One is they want to try to avoid minimum mandatories if they get caught, so they change the mixture. They know that under Florida law, to prove a homicide, if you sell a fatal dose, we have to, the statute requires certain drugs to be part of that, and so they continue to change it. And frankly, it's all about marketing. They change the color. We've had blue, we've had pink, fentanyl, you name it, because one cartel wants you to buy their stuff because it's better than their competing cartel. So they're great marketeers, and they change their tactic. Or if law enforcement, and years ago when Florida passed a law to shut down the pill mills for oxycodone, that triggered the people that wanted that to now go back to crack cocaine, and we've seen a certain resurgence of cocaine from the arrests that I've seen in our seizures. So it's a constant changing, and you have to constantly change your tactics and educate the public in what's out there. Other questions? All right, well, thank you very much for...
If they don't want to ask, let me ask you, now that Dawn Nichols has been in place for quite a while, what letter grade did you give her as a judge as far as her alignment with what you mentioned earlier that you wanted to see from your local judges?
Well, I'm not going to go down that path, Pierre. The judge has wide latitude on what they can do. I've seen some very strong sentences. I've seen some sentences that I don't totally agree with. I've seen some bonds that I don't agree with. But I try to stay in my lane. And my lane is to enforce the law, while the state attorney's lane is to prosecute the case. The public defender is to defend the defendant, and the judge gets to put all those pieces together. So, I'm probably never going to agree with every sentence or every bond that is provided, and it's not just Judge Nichols. So, they have a different role, and I don't stand in there or walk in their shoes in there. So.
Is there any body cam footage of any of the SummerSlammer operations, like any that we're able to use?
Yeah, so our PIO will get that to you. There's a lot. I mean, everybody has body cams, so they're going to have to sift through it and see what we can do, because obviously there's some restrictions, undercover guys, and can't use anything inside a house, stuff like that. But
is there
just
one particular knucklehead there that was the ringleader, or were they all just a bunch of freelancer types?
I think they were both freelance, right?
Yes, they were all separate.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will tell you that CS Gas works very well, and he didn't want to come out. It's one of these small travel trailers, and it was kind of funny when we got there to serve the warrant. The deputies knocked on the door and said sheriff's office, and we've been there enough times that we've heard his voice and we recognize. I've been to his, every time we go to arrest him, we have a problem with this guy. And so they said, Shannon, come out. We need to talk to you. What do you want? We have a warrant for your arrest. Then he shut up. Well, thanks for confirming that you're inside. You probably won't do that now, sorry.
How many canisters did you dump in on?
I'm sorry?
How many canisters of CS did you get?
We only needed one.
One?
Yeah.
But he lasted a little bit, 3 minutes?
Yeah, 2 or 3 minutes, I guess, him and his friend, and then they came out. But his friend claims that I talked him into surrendering. I don't know, I think the CS gas did that. And we poured it as, a hole in the side of the trailer to get him, to force him out the door that he wouldn't come to, and that's exactly what worked. So
Was his friend arrested? Is his friend part of the...
we detained him and interviewed him, and we did not arrest him in there. But, it definitely worked. That's the video you probably want if we have any good video.
I was also going to ask, was there a common place that you arrested most of them at, or was it all very random?
It was in an area called the Mondex in western Flagler County, and in various locations in the city of Palm Coast and in Bunnell.
Okay.
So across Flagler County, really. Okay. All right, anything else? All right, thank you for coming today. Thank you for watching online, for those that are doing that. We appreciate you getting the message out. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay.
He got a pretty problem in it's not getting out. So, he thought he was dragging around.